Welcome to IN60, where my guest is Kevin Moss, President and Portfolio Manager at Liberty Street Advisors. Welcome, Kevin.
Hi, James. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. Kevin, I'm going to ask you a series of short, sharp questions, where after short, sharp answers, you can pass at any time, and your time starts now. Kevin, is identifying the perfect late-stage venture capital investment a science or an art?
James, I think it's a little bit of both, but I'd say more art than science.
What's the biggest plus that a candidate company can show you?
I think good governance and good investors around the table.
Conversely, what's the biggest red flag?
I mean, I'd say the opposite of that, if I'm being honest.
What's the best investment you've ever personally made?
Well, in the last 10 years, as I've been involved in venture, I'd have to say a company called Marquetta. It was a really good return for us.
Is Springsteen or Dylan the great American songwriter?
I'm from New Jersey, James, so I'm going to have to go with Springsteen.
Would you ever invest earlier than normal, for example, pre-revenue, if you really liked a company?
Yes, we would and we have. It has to be quite compelling, though. And it really depends on what fund you're putting that investment in.
What's the biggest benefit of late-stage venture capital? Is it the uncorrelated returns or the scope for capital gain?
I would have to say the uncorrelated nature of the asset class, given that everybody's looking for, the capital gains, of course, but this really differentiates the asset class from other asset classes.
Should there always be an illiquidity premium in private equity and venture capital investing, or do you really have to offer investors some liquidity?
There always has been, and there's a reason for it, given the asset class. But I think times are changing, and it's something that we've shown in our recent funds. And so adding some level of liquidity is a huge benefit for private equity.
Is the best time to go into late-stage venture capital investment when the stock market is in a downturn?
It's very hard to time these things, but history will tell you that periods of volatility offer some of the best opportunities. And so when you see those periods of volatility, for us anyway, we really like to deploy capital during that period of time.
Kevin, are you happier with a deal that comes to you or one that you find yourself?
There's nothing more satisfying than seeking out a deal and finding it yourself, because we get a lot of deal flow that comes to us. So finding one ourselves is much more satisfying.
When the world is fully open once more, Kevin, where are you heading for a holiday first?
Cabo. Me and my wife always go straight down to Cabo. I'm on the West Coast in California. It's close and it's beautiful. That's where we're heading.
Kevin Moss, thanks very much for being on IN60.
Thanks, James.